River Road, you got me running way back home. River Road, you got me running all night long. You got me singing some canal boat song. River Road, you got me running all night long.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Niner Nuts. I'm Dan, here along with Eric, Easy E, above me on my left, I guess. I can't tell directions this way. And calling in from an undisclosed location, Mr. Jimmy B. James is back. James, how's it going out there? It looks like you're roughing it a little bit.
Well, yeah, I'm digging in the weeds in Florida, trying to find out the latest 49er rumors. I think John is in the tent behind me. He says that he definitely watches the show after the draft. Like he said, we helped him with some picks, and I just, he's out here chilling with his dog as well. And yeah, we're just having a good time binding over Niner Nuts and Niners, and yeah, so.
That's fantastic. Say hi to Arik for us if you happen to get closer to Jacksonville. I'm not going to dox your location, but get an autograph from Arik from us.
Yeah, I'm not 20 minutes away from home. No, I'm not 20 minutes away from home. I'm really deep in the weeds.
Yes. That's fantastic. Well, guys, we have decided to bring back...
You could have just been on your patio.
Oh, there he is.
I mean, if you saw my backyard, it does look similar to this.
Yeah, you say that, Eric, and I've seen his patio. That's really funny. God, well, guys, we have brought back our betting monikers because we are doing odds again on a Friday episode for the first time in what seems like 2 months, maybe a month and a half. But what we are going to do with our odds from DraftKings, which, disclosure, these odds are clearly subject to change because they're way the hell out in the future when these will pay off. So subject to change. Call 1-800-GAMBLER if you have a gambling problem, and check your state and local regulations on how you may or may not gamble. So with that, they'll
especially be changing around the trade deadline when John goes out and gets somebody to add to the team. Then they'll definitely change.
Yes, absolutely. So with that, I have DraftKings on standby. I will pull them up here in a second, but we decided to do a little bit of a guessing game. We want to see between the two degenerate gamblers of our staff, because I do not consider myself one. I like to gamble, but between Mr. Jimmy Weeds and Mr. Easy E, we're going to see, I guess, Price is Right style, who guesses the odds better for the odds of the 49ers winning the NFC West, the NFC Conference, and then the Super Bowl. So I have all that written here on my notes so I can figure out, or so I can keep track of what your guesses are. Whoever
the cow
wants to
guess
first.
too. The cow says he wants to guess too. He wants to get in on it. If you all didn't hear that, there was a cow. There's a cow going just complaining about something.
He's complaining about Jacksonville collapsing still. God, that's hilarious. Well, I guess whichever one of you two want to go first, what you think the odds are for the Niners to win the NFC West specifically.
Jimmy, you get honors. You get to go first. Since you're down there, you're in the muck, you're in the weeds, as we say. You get honors.
Well, I've been digging through dirt and starting fires. I got the citronella candles going, and after my neighbor campsites, did a little something with their weeds. I'm not saying, partake if you can, if you want. It's not me, but anyway, I heard them talking, and they said plus 225 to win the division.
Ooh, all right.
Gotcha. Plus 225. All right.
So we're in agreement that the Cardinals are going to stink again, right?
Well, yeah, they're the Cardinals.
Oh, yeah.
And they got Jonathan Gannon as a coach.
Yeah. And we're in agreement that the Seahawks are probably going to take a step back, but be like, meh, like, okay, right?
Yeah,
I wouldn't
guess.
say a
Yeah.
step. I wouldn't say a step back. I would expect them to be just kind of what's the treading water? Not
As
worse,
feisty
not
as they always are.
yeah, not worse, not worse, not better.
I think Pete contributed a lot to the personality of that team. I think they're going to take a little bit of a step back. So, but I think the Rams could be sneaky good. So I think the Rams are in play here, but still the 49ers are the clear-cut leader. I just don't know.
They made the playoffs. That's not an exaggeration.
Yeah. So you say plus 225. I'm going to go to win the division. I'm going to go a little lower than you. I'm going to go plus 175.
Ooh, plus 175. Okay. Just to show.
But I'm going to say that I'm going to bet that the Rams are probably really close behind them. I bet you.
I would think so. Yeah, I think the Rams are going to be competing
you can
for
see
that.
I'm taking these down.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
We trust you, Dan. We have full faith and trust in you, Dan.
I can't wait to pull this up. I did see the division. The division's the one that's right in front of me on my lobby, so I can tell who's right on that one. But I can't see the conference and Super Bowl, and I didn't look because I want to be surprised too.
Yeah.
So now on to the conference. What do we think the odds are to win the conference when really who's our competition besides the Lions? Like, way too early.
Come on. Don't. It's Howie season. It's Howie season, man. He cooked. He started with 8 draft picks, ended up with 9 players and 3 more draft picks next year from 8 picks. Like, yeah,
we saw the record he set.
Yeah, I know. He traded like 9 times. That's total record since they kept track of it since 1990.
Well, it's Niners, it's Eagles, it's Lions, it's the pretender Cowboys as usual. I mean, that's probably.
If we're being fair,
well, they're going to get their odds are going to be escalated because there's always hype around them. But
right, but I mean, that's
probably CeeDee Lamb is going to play.
Yeah,
let's not discount the Packers either. Honestly, let's not discount the Packers.
Okay, I guess. But I mean, it's those 4 again, right? That's okay, or 5, right? That's it, though, right? That's it for that conference.
Yeah, I think that would be it for conference.
Okay,
it's no one in the South. The Falcons will probably be good, but I mean, like, it's not.
But they have Kirk Cousins,
and I would imagine. And I would imagine after all the additions for the Eagles have to be the favorite, like compared to what the 49ers did in free agency. And I would think that the Eagles probably leapfrog them to win.
All right. So what's your number? Are you want to go first this time, or you want me to go first?
I took that down. Eagles. I took that down. Eagles favorite, but yeah, Eric, what's your number? And then James, your specific number for the Niners.
Conference for the Niners. 450.
Ooh.
Plus 450.
Plus 450.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, so with the caveat of the Eagles being the favorite as well, what do you think the Niners would be?
Well, if the Eagles were the favorite, if we're talking like, okay, Eagles.
I think that the Niners are the favorite. I don't think the Eagles are the favorite. I think the Niners are the favorite.
I think the Niners will be favorite too.
See, I don't think the Niners will be favored because if you look at what the Eagles did in the offseason, plus you take in consideration the fact that, it's hard to get to the Super Bowl the year after you lose it.
Oh, yeah, very much so. Yeah, very much so.
So, yeah, I know all about that. So, so I would think with the additions in the offseason, the Eagles, Saquon Barkley's on the team, Bryce Huff, the draft they just had, all these young players on defense, Vic Fangio, Kellen Moore, like that had to push their odds ahead of the 49ers. And the Eagles, I would think the Eagles would be plus 400 to win the conference. The Niners, like, I think they'd be right behind them. So I'm going to go plus 500 for the Niners to win the conference.
All right. So Eagles 400 and Niners 500. Just in case anybody couldn't hear you dip a little bit there. You're still with us, but just in case anybody heard that, couldn't tell from that breakup a little bit. So, all right. So division is James said 250. Eric said 175. In conference, James said 500. Eric said 450. Now we're at the big dance. We've made it to the big dance 2 years in a row. And this would be our third in 5-6 years. I can't remember anymore. What are the odds that we win the Super Bowl? Whoever wants to go first.
So I think when we look at the AFC, the Chiefs are got to be the favorites because they're the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You look at who was in the conference game. It was Josh Allen and the Bills was one of the playoff teams. I'm sure.
Well, the Ravens were right there.
The Ravens are there.
The Bengals are going to be a hot pick with Burrow coming back.
Oh, right. And we're back. We did lose Jimmy there for a minute, but now the
Cows came in and just trounced all over my campsite and knocked me off the hot spot and everything like that. So Batman had to kill a few, and then we just covered up the bodies in the pasture, and now we're ready to go. We're having hamburgers too tonight.
There you go. We advocated that they should have steak they should have fiber at the campsite for you.
So yes,
all right, we're on to the Super Bowl, right?
Yes. James was saying the Chiefs would be the favorite, and then we lost
Chiefs would be the favorites. Probably the Ravens right behind them. If the Chiefs were the favorite, the Chiefs would probably be plus 550. The Ravens would probably be plus 800, I would think. I don't think the Bills would be over the Eagles or the 49ers.
No.
So if the Ravens are plus 800, Eagles are probably, they would have to be plus like 850 or 900, I think, which would put the 49ers, I'm going to go plus 1,000.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Interesting. Okay. No, they were taking a stand there.
Yeah.
I'm using a similar rationale to Jimmy Weeds. I do also think the Chiefs are going to be the favorite, as annoying and stupid as that is. And they're probably in the plus 500 something range. So plus 500, plus 550, something like that. And then do I think that the 49ers are second or third? Because I think that they might have the Ravens above them.
I think the Ravens, in terms of a worse offseason, they got Derrick Henry, but they've lost quite a few pieces, like Patrick Queen, and we didn't lose. We lost Arik Armstead, but he was already injured most of the season, and Patrick Queen was such a central piece to them.
But you also lost Chase Young and his 2 sacks.
Yeah.
I know, but people slurp Lamar so much, though, and just think that he's eventually going to just break through and he's going to have the year and be the MVP. So I don't know. I guess I think they're going to put Lamar above them as well. So I'm going to have them at plus 700. I'm going to put the Niners at 900. Plus 900.
Okay.
I got Ravens at plus like 750. Niners.
Yeah, that's where I would have the Ravens at, but I think the Eagles are next in line before the 49ers.
I know. So you and I are going to argue.
Yeah, of course we're going to argue that.
All right. Well, I got the division winners up here first. So squeeze all of us down and take a look there. The Niners are minus
minus
195.
Wow.
Minus.
Yeah, the Rams.
Broncos.
Then the Rams plus 330, Seahawks 700, Cardinals 1300.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I just want to see all these other ones for a second. So I mean, like,
You're doing a
I
Mr.
would-
Burns pose, by the way.
I know. Not that I would. Not that I would
What
want
it is though, like history tells us that the 49ers are going to be a wild card this year.
Yeah,
Like-
not that I bet against the 49ers, but the Rams at 330 is a good bet.
I would say so. Yes. I mean, who's going to take the Niners at minus 195 unless you're going to like put it in a parlay or something?
Yeah.
Like a whole every division parlay, yeah.
Yeah. And we should
but-
do that this year too. We should put like before the season starts.
Yeah, we should. Why not?
We should. Why not? Let's do a division. Who we think is going to win the division?
Yeah, but the
This
Rams
one-
at 330. I mean, all you got to have is an injury to McCaffrey or to Brock, and the Niners
Don't put that in the air. Dan's going to kill you.
But I'm
Please
just
don't.
saying. I mean, the Rams can sneak right in there. Or to your point, Jimmy, tradition would hold that the Niners would more likely sneak in as a wild card than a division winner.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah,
I think the 49ers, I mean, maybe they do well like the Eagles did and come back. But history tells us that the year after losing the Super Bowl, you usually don't even win the division.
yeah, no, totally agree with you. That's why I say if I was going to bet money on this, I would bet Rams 330, even though that would hurt my heart.
Yeah. By the way, these two divisions, I don't know if you can see my mouse circling them.
Yeah,
These are going to be fun to watch. Houston, Jaguars, and Colts, and the Lions, Packers, and Bears. I don't think the Vikings. I don't blame them for putting it there, but just a tiny little footnote there. The AFC South and the NFC North are going to be
I
fun.
guess they don't
as
believe in
hell to
JJ
watch.
McCarthy.
no, they do not. I think the Texans are going to run away with that division. Personally, that Texans team is super
How
studly
dare
right
you?
now.
They are really studly. The Colts really will have a lot to prove, but the Colts literally took them to Week 18 for the Texans to win that divison without Anthony Richardson.
Well, but that's to me, that's actually going to be the negative for the Colts team this season is that Anthony Richardson is going to be the starter, and he's only got the equivalent of like one game under his belt because he missed every one of the 4 games that he played this particular season. So it's going to be like he's playing his rookie season this season, and assuming that he makes it through the season, I think he's just going to have a lot of growing pains and a lot of problems as he comes through all that. So I think that's going to drag that team down personally.
Plus, who's their backup quarterback this year? It's not Garner Minshew.
It's
Yeah.
Joe Flacco. I am not kidding. Joe Flacco signed with the Colts.
I mean,
can he
okay.
win comeback player of the year 2 years in a row?
But not
So
a bad
you know
mentor to have behind him, honestly.
Well, you know what you're getting with Joe Flacco. You're getting a guy who's going to sling the ball around and is going to throw you at least 2 picks a game. So, I mean,
He'll throw 2 picks, 3 touchdowns, and for like 150 yards.
It's the second coming of Matt Schaub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What do we
right,
got
so
for
let's-
conference winner?
Conference winner, drum roll. All right, for the NFC, the Niners are plus 250.
Eagles plus 700.
Mm-hmm. And the Lions,
the
not
hell?
surprised they're in. Lions, I'm not surprised they're in second place. You remember how bad your season ended last year? That left a bad taste in a lot of bettors' mouths.
Yes, but we really, you guys lost the Super Bowl. Like, you're not.
We
getting
got to
back
the Super
there.
Bowl.
You're not getting back there. You're not getting back there. History will tell us you're not getting back there. Plus 250. I'm sorry. What's our code word? Earmuffs. Bullshit. It's bullshit. Plus
Whoa,
250.
why are you
Come
mute-
on. You guys.
Why are you muted, sir?
Who, me? Oh, Eric.
No, Eric. You are muted, sir. I don't know what happened. I think you're muted on Zoom, not the hard mic.
Yep.
Oh,
I'm
there we
good.
go.
Yep.
There we go. Let's
I
see.
mean,
Let's see.
That's complete.
I was gonna say, let's see for
lunacy.
poo and giggles.
I'm
Yeah,
the winner.
Chiefs.
I'm the winner, though, right? I got that. I was closer, correct?
Yeah, you got 2, so
Uh,
you automatically win. So,
Woo!
yeah. All right.
Yeah, James,
degenerate.
you were way off with The Eagles at 700 and the Niners at 500. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, before you move on, Dan. So Niners at 250, that's fine. Lions at 550, man. I mean, Eagles at 700 is actually like that's good for action. I mean,
It's good for action, but no, they should
They
be
should
above the
overperform that.
Lions and the 49ers because they improved. I'm sorry, the Niners, if anything, stayed the same, and so did the Lions.
Yeah.
The Eagles improved. The Niners lost in the Super Bowl, so they're automatically taken out for winning the division. I don't care what anybody says. The Lions are the only team that I could see be above the Eagles.
I mean, the Falcons at 1100 is a real stretch, right? No one thinks they're winning the conference, right? I mean, that's not happening.
No,
they're not winning the conference. No.
And then I would take the Rams. I would take the Rams to win the conference over the Falcons.
How are the Bears ranked above the Rams? I mean, that's crazy.
When was the last time a rookie quarterback won the conference? Never. They should be at the bottom with the rest of them.
They have a great roster. They have a great roster, but Eberflus is not a great coach.
Well, and then there's just this huge gap between the Rams and then everyone else, which I think is just so bizarre too. So I think that's interesting. So
this only being this is the whole conference. Never mind. I was gonna say that's a hell of a free fall from 1,600 to 35.
Yeah, I mean, if I was gonna bet on it, and again, I would never bet against the Niners, but if I was going to bet with just my money involved and not my heart, I would take Eagles in this scenario. I would think that's pretty legit money. And I would say, I mean, the Rams at 1,600 again is fairly intriguing. I don't dislike what the Rams did last season and what they've done so far this offseason. I don't really dislike what they've done as a team. I mean, they lost Aaron Donald, I'll grant you that. But I don't think that they've fallen that far off. And a healthy Matthew Stafford with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nuku or whatever his name is.
Puka Nacua.
Yeah. I totally butchered that.
Yeah, you're right, though. The Rams didn't get worse.
Yeah. No, I mean, like,
I agree. So, if I was really gonna pick a team, and we're using history to tell us, the Lions would probably be number one. Then either the Rams or the Packers, I would go next in my betting, because the Cowboys, no way,
no shot.
The Eagles with Jalen Hurts, we know the history, losing the Super Bowl in your first appearance, you don't end up going back. Same with the 49ers. So my betting money would either be on Jordan Love, Matthew Stafford, or Jared Goff from the Lions. That's, because if you look at what happened this past year, the Niners lost the NFC Championship game, then went to the Super Bowl. Lions lost the NFC Championship game. They probably have the best odds. They should have the best odds, in my opinion. And they're number 2, so I'm not really off, but they're number 2.
Yeah.
As, being the best in the division and probably going to win it. So I mean, I would love to bet on the Eagles, but history tells us don't bet on the Eagles. So history should always tell you not to bet on the Cowboys. So the 3 favorites that I like here, really, if we're looking at like not being a bookie and actually betting, I would either bet the Lions, the Packers, or the Rams.
Yeah. I could get down with that. Yeah, I could get down with that.
That is fair. That's fair rationale. So I think with that, then, we need to see what the odds for the big kahuna, the championship, just strictly the Niners. James, you said plus 1,000. Eric, you said plus 900. These have been wildly wrong up to this point. So here we go. Chiefs are number 1 at 550, and the Niners are second at 600.
Ooh, all right. Well, the Ravens were at 900. So my Ravens and my Niners pick were essentially backwards.
Yeah.
Yes. I wrote down 700 when you were talking Ravens.
Yeah, but, I did have 700 for the Ravens, but Yeah.
Yeah, and then Chiefs, James, you both basically nailed it. Eric, you said 500. James, you said 550. So Price is Right rules.
Yeah.
James won.
Yeah, way to go, James.
Called something right.
Yeah.
And then your Eagles were way off, 850, and here they're at 1700.
Yeah, that's way off. That's really
The
way
Ravens,
off.
though, at you guys 700 and they're at 900. That's not terribly off.
Yeah.
But okay, so
No surprises that the Chiefs are favorited to do a three-peat because, of course, they are. So
I'm surprised the Texans are so high, like in this order. Like I know they're plus 1600, but
Hey, Dan, go back to the conference winners. I want to see the AFC conference winner. I want to see where they were listed to win their conference. Actually, we didn't really look at that.
Texans at 850.
Okay, so interesting.
Okay.
So they're behind the standard 4 to win the conference. I don't understand why the Bills are so high. The Bills got absolutely devastated in the offseason. Just
The
devastated
Texans
in
should
the
be
offseason.
above the Bills. I would put the
agree.
Chargers. Well, okay, I'm not
I
going
would
to
not
that
put the
hard for-
Chargers above that.
No. I pull that. I love Jim Harbaugh, but I pull that back. Let's flip that back to the Super Bowl.
I know
Let's see just
Steelers,
everybody.
Russell Wilson, Justin Fields.
Justin Fields is going to return all the kicks, my man. It's going to be legendary.
Bro, I laughed so hard when I saw that. That was just I have to see that. Now that that's been put out there in the ether, I have to see that now. That'd be so amazing.
Well, just so you know, the Eagles have never prioritized returner until this year. They drafted like 3 guys who can return kicks now.
Yeah.
So this should be fun. These new kickoff rules. I mean, I love watching them. I love watching
done
them
the
on
same
TV.
thing. We have Ronnie Bell. Debo was floated potentially, but I mean he can. So we have Debo, Ronnie. We just drafted Cowing, Trent Taylor. Like that's 4 guys alone that we're going to try out for all these new return rules.
Well, I mean, these new return rules will be fun. I want to see like some of the trick plays that they'll do with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because you have to have 2 guys back, right?
You have 1 guy back, but any guy can touch the ball. So,
Okay.
they kick off the ball, you're standing still, and then you could have a guy come from the end and come and get it, or you could switch to the guy in the middle or someone in between, because they're all standing still, so they're all right there. It's not like they're starting at the freaking 45-yard line and coming down. Like, as far as I know, as the rules go, it doesn't have to. It could be anybody could get the ball in that situation. So you could run, I mean, pretty much an infinite amount of trick plays with 10 guys and a receiver. So
be interesting. So
That's
I mean, the
wild.
Chiefs. Yeah. So the Chiefs aren't a surprise to me on this chart. I mean, I guess I'm not really surprised. I mean, I'm a little surprised the Niners are second. I really thought the Ravens would be above them.
yeah, I figured they would be too.
Ravens, not surprised that they're third. Lions, I don't really know that I guess. I don't love the Bills at all being this high. Like I would not put them above the Bengals. I would not put them above the Titans. I would not put them above the Eagles.
You mean the Texans?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I wouldn't put the Texans above the Eagles. I would put them above the Cowboys, but
the Eagles and the Bills to me should be flipped. Like Eagles above the Bengals and the Texans. Like literally just I would literally drop the Eagles from here to here and put the Bills from here to there. Like, and then that would seem more fair to me or more realistic.
So for
me.
betting purposes, if we really look at this, Chiefs would have to 3-peat, never been done before. 49ers would have to go back to the Super Bowl after losing it. Hasn't been done in a while. Ravens,
the Bills.
Okay. The Lions, yeah. But we also, we got to remember Jared Goff is on that, and Jared Goff lost the Super Bowl as well. So I know he's on a new team, but you could also take that into consideration. You have the Ravens there.
Lamar just doesn't seem to be able to get over the hump.
I mean, maybe eventually. I mean, it took Peyton Manning how many years to get over the hump? So
Yeah.
It took Manning 7 years. Yeah.
it took Manning 7 years, and everybody kept saying he couldn't win the big game. But by the end of his career, nobody cared. Nobody said it anymore. So
Yeah, I don't know. They just changed out so much on the Ravens staff this year too. I just don't know about that.
I mean,
Oh, that's right. Their DC went to Seattle. That's right.
Yeah.
but I mean, the Ravens. I'm definitely not betting on the Bills.
No. They lost all their
No, the
receivers. They don't have anyone to catch the ball.
I know
They lost their whole damn secondary too. Like
the Bengals.
they didn't
the
just
Bengals
they
definitely
lost
not.
everybody.
The Bengals definitely not, because Joe Burrow getting back to the Super Bowl after losing it. I mean, I guess the Texans right there, if you're gonna like bet, CJ Stroud in his second year, where they added more to that. I guess
It's a
the
young
Texans
team,
would
but it's a
be.
feisty team, dude.
I mean, that's where I would go to bet, I guess, in this scenario, looking at this.
If you're looking for value for your money, right?
Yeah, if you're looking for value for your money, you take the Texans or the Packers in this situation.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I
I
would
was
say
gonna
that.
say the Packers too.
Because Jordan Love is in his second year starting. So we've seen the jump that somebody can make from first year starting to second year starting. Same with the Texans. So I guess, what we're saying is Texans Packers Super Bowl.
What about
Gross.
I mean this on. I mean
no
this
one wants to watch
sincerely.
that.
What
I mean,
I mean this in
people in Houston and people in Green Bay would want to watch it.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that would be a pretty intriguing Super Bowl. I'd be cheering pretty damn loud for CJ Stroud, like if that was the Super Bowl. Like against my Colts, but I would much rather see the Texans win than the Packers.
Are we putting any money on the Jets at plus 2,000? Do we have any confidence that a healthy Aaron Rodgers can lead the Jets to the Super Bowl in the AFC?
I would say
that was what I was just gonna ask. Like, take the conspiracies out of it. If Aaron plays all 18 or 17 games, I don't know. I honestly think the Jets could at least win the division and make the conference championship. Like, sincerely, I think they could.
I think the Jets could make the conference championship, but I don't think they're getting past anybody else. I think whatever will happen, like the Jets are just not meant to get back to the Super Bowl. Like they're just not meant to. And, I just don't see Aaron Rodgers being able to lift that franchise out of the perpetual snake-bitten curses that they endure to get them to win the Super Bowl or even get there. I wouldn't bet on it.
What were the Jets' odds to win the division, Dan? Because they should only be behind Miami, I would think. But I bet you they're behind Miami and Buffalo.
They're probably.
AFC East. They are second behind the Bills, and they're ahead
tied
of the
with
Dolphins. Or tied with Dolphins, yeah.
So plus 200 to win that division. I mean, I would take that.
We're not taking the Patriots at plus 2,500.
Dude, it's a wide. Buffalo got decimated in free agency. Miami got decimated in free agency. The Jets didn't really get. They lost only like one or two pieces that were like legit starters. Like, there's a real chance they could win the division.
The Falcons are the favorite. Like minus 130. That's it. Get real. Minus 130.
Yeah,
people forget that Kirk Cousins sucks in. People forget Kirk Cousins sucks in prime time.
People forget that Kirk Cousins sucks so much they drafted his replacement already.
Yeah. Who won't play until he's 30.
Not a bad pick, though. It's
a terrible pick, Dan. It's a terrible pick.
Me and Ian Rappaport share the same vibe, and Brian Gutekunst in Green Bay. Like,
yeah, but
if
the dynamic
a skill position player
talked to Kurt before they made the pick, like before the draft, he gets a phone call the minute when they're on the clock. Like, if I was Kurt,
that was not a classy move. That was not the classy part. No.
You know what? If I were Kirk, I would be like, "Oh, I'm back. Where's my 30 mil?" Let that kid go out there.
Think about it though. they're betting that they're not going to bet in the top 10 again. So is there a more valuable position in football than the quarterback? No. Was there any skill position player that they felt was worth more than somebody they already had on the roster? They answered that for us. No. So with even with the injury concerns and he's left-handed, yada yada, like drafting a quarterback, I don't blame them. I don't blame them because we don't know how good Kirk's going to be.
Well,
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
if
you're
it was
dropping a
some
lot of
other
money on him.
quarterback,
But
if it would have been Jaden Daniels or even JJ McCarthy, I would have drafted over Penix. Penix
No.
is like 25.
really,
By the
I would
time
have
he
taken
starts, it's
Penix
going to
over
be
McCarthy.
27.
No, here's the problem. I got on this on I did this at my soapbox in the team chat. Now you guys are making me do it on the podcast. They're already paying Cousins $100 million over the next 2 years, regardless. So he's never going to not see the field. And if he doesn't see the field, then you've wasted $100 million in money. You can't waste that much money. And if the kid doesn't see the field, you've wasted the most valuable thing that you have in the NFL now, which is a rookie quarterback contract. You simply cannot waste years of a rookie quarterback contract. You have to take full advantage of those when you have those. We see that now with the Jordan Love situation. The Packers are in this oddball situation now where they've really only gotten to see Love play for one season because they wasted all of his time sitting behind Aaron Rodgers. And now they're having to determine whether or not they're going to pay him based off of just his performance last year. Now, yeah, he looked great.
That's not a question. He's getting paid. He will get paid.
Okay, fine. But he played great for half of a season last year. So how good do you feel as a GM paying a guy for playing well for 10 games last season? I don't feel very good as a GM paying a guy $50 million a season.
All I know is
the quality is not what I was.
All I know is if the owner is willing to write the check, I'll spend it. I don't care.
Well, that's quality. Fine, but it's just...
I mean, and the owner's a billionaire. What's $100 million to him? I mean,
but the point is
the quality of play was not what I was arguing. It's the state of the quarterback's worth. They just have to. He played good when it mattered. So that's going to be in Love's favor to get even closer to 50, 55 million even. Like, it's just, that's the nature of how expensive a quarterback is now. And Love's going to get to reap the benefits of it.
The Falcons with Kirk Cousins are supposedly built to win now. They needed to draft somebody at the number 1 pick that could plug and play and complement their team right now, be that on offense, be that on defense, wherever it may be. They needed to add another player that was going to make an impact immediately, not some kid who's 25 years old who's going to sit behind Cousins and watch him flail around for the next 2 seasons. That was the stupidest pick of the entire draft. It was just dumb.
It was. I agree. It was pretty dumb. I don't mind taking a quarterback there, but I wouldn't take him a guy who's going to be 26 this season to put him on the bench. You know, you're literally, like, Eric, you're wasting a rookie contract.
Yeah.
When Jalen Hurts started for the Eagles in his first year as a starter, he was 22.
Yeah.
Like, that's where you need to be. You don't need to be at 28.
We didn't have the deferred years from COVID, which we're getting closer to the end of than we were like 3 years ago. Like, so this influx of 25-year-old quarterbacks and skill position players, we'll get to the end of that probably in the next 2 years, if I did my math right. But yeah,
if you're gonna
that
draft
definitely
a
is something.
25-year-old quarterback, let it be somebody who can start. You're going to build around and start from the bottom. Then
he's got to play.
He's got to play. You can't wait around for this guy to hold the clipboard for 2 years and then say go play, because okay, you got Bijan Robinson, Michael Pitts, who else is on their offense?
Drake London.
Like, these guys might be gone by the time Penix sees the field. You know, and that's
fair.
the point.
Yeah.
Like, you're in win now. So
exactly.
if you want to draft a quarterback with a pick, maybe do it in the second round and a younger guy. Use your what pick did they had? 11?
It was 8.
It was 8. You have a top 10 pick. All right. You got Kirk Cousins. You need a blue chip player that can help you right now with that pick. That's the situation that the Falcons were in.
Yes.
Building for the
trade
future,
down. Or trade down.
Trade down. But like that would be dumb. That would be dumb. Pick a guy.
I mean, whatever. But I mean, you could probably have gotten with the Vikings popped up. The Vikings popped up to 10 to get McCarthy. So maybe you could have traded down with the Vikings maybe the Vikings could have traded up to 8, to get into your spot. So maybe you could have traded down with them or whatever. But not drop terribly far out, but you could have made a move and probably still gotten a guy that could contribute for you on day one.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It doesn't make sense. And I mean, how often? I mean, the Atlanta Falcons are always in the top 10, but your win now. You need somebody, guy that can come on the field, start right now, and contribute to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, this is a completely wasted pick. It was the dumbest pick of the entire draft. Just completely stupid. I mean, just the money aspect of it doesn't make any sense. You're paying Kirk Cousins. You've locked into paying Kirk Cousins $100 million over the next 2 seasons. You're going to play him. He's never going unless Cousins is a complete catastrophe at quarterback. You're not going to play him. He's going to play because you're paying him an astronomical amount of money. So Penix is going to sit. And then if the odd chance happens that Cousins is terrible and by some means Penix does play, well, then you've put yourself in this pickle because now you've got Cousins on this terrible deal where you're never going to be able to get rid of him because his whole contract is guaranteed because that's all he plays on is guaranteed money. Good for him.
That's
God bless
crazy.
His agent.
That's crazy.
God bless his agent.
He has made.
I decided
more money
to use
than
this.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Just salary.
I decided to use this. Sorry, I was saying I decided to use this as a segue to pull up the offensive rookie of the year because that was, listeners, these were the last 2 that we were going to look at: the offensive rookie of the year, the defensive rookie of the year. We didn't do pre-guesses on these, but no, since we found a very passionate note on on Michael Penix, I thought it'd be good to segue into that now.
He's not even listed on here because he's never going to see the field.
Mm-hmm. Nope, that's fair. Bo Nix definitely should be above him when we're not expecting, unless Cousins has some terrible injury happen again. Knock on wood, like it doesn't happen. I hated seeing Cousins get hurt. But what do we think of this? JJ McCarthy is too high. I'm just going to put that out there. JJ is way too high.
So. Very much so. All of Michigan must be betting on JJ McCarthy.
He's not going to be a bad quarterback, but holy smokes, he was not the reason they won the national championship. Blake Corum, that defense, he was good. He shouldn't be 4th in line for offensive rookie of the year.
I mean,
Go
ahead, James.
And you just mentioned Blake Corum helped them win. He's plus 5,000. Like, I would take Blake.
He got
Corum
taken by the Rams.
JJ McCarthy.
Oh yeah, I would too. He could be the starter for the Rams too. I don't remember. I can't remember who's the number 1 running back in the Rams right now. But no, Blake Corum could be their number 1.
No, he won't because they have Kyron Williams for the Rams.
Oh shoot, that's right. No, he was really good. That's right.
Yeah,
he'll be their number 1.
On this list for me, Harrison Jr. jumps out. I mean,
that's who I was about to say too. Like, if I was going to bet, it'd be him.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to. I mean, I hate Arizona and I hate Kyler Murray and their offense last year. When I watched them play the Niners, I mean, that was the only 2 times that I watched them. Thank God, they were just dreadful. That offense, I don't know what they were doing. It was just bad. I mean, it was bad from top to bottom. So, can Harrison Jr. overcome whatever scheme it is that they're running that just looks terrible to put up decent numbers in that offense? I don't know, but he sure was really, really good here at Ohio State, and he's
Well,
got all the talent in the world. So if
he's going to be
anybody
the
can
next
do it,
Larry Fitzgerald. He's going to be the next Larry Fitzgerald.
I mean, he might be. So, I mean, if I was going to bet on somebody to be Rookie of the Year, it would be him. I mean, who's the other? Isn't Bo Nix the kid that went to the Broncos?
Yeah, Bo Nix is. That's going to be
Hey, that's the kid out of Oregon. That's going
to be tough to. He's got to have a pretty astronomical season. Like I don't know. I'm kind of just going with the chalk here. Like all Caleb has to do is be average, and when it comes to like most valuable, like which this somewhat falls into, like if he throws 3,500 yards and 25 touchdowns, he'll get it. Like regardless of where the rest of the Bears get 4 or 5 wins. Like I just.
But can he do that in Chicago?
We have to see. I will never say Eberflus is a good coach, and I feel like he is the reason Justin Fields is in Pittsburgh now. So I don't know. There's an argument that you can make that Caleb should be very sad that he's in Chicago because that's where quarterbacks and wide receivers go to just die. I'd not be so morbid. But...
And I mean,
when was the last time they hit on a quarterback?
Yeah, like, and I mean, the book is kind of out on Caleb Williams, right? I mean, like he's got off the chart measurables, and everybody says that he's great, but I mean, he also like didn't light the world on fire a few times in big games in college too, right?
Yeah, that's the general narrative around him. I didn't watch USC last year, but
of course, because they play at 11 o'clock at night every Saturday. I mean, who else going to watch that? That's bedtime. I
don't know. Maybe I'm a little pessimist. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. Like, because you could, there's been Bo Nix has been very polarizing. Like the numbers that he put up were insane. And he's getting a great coach in Sean Payton. Like,
yeah, that's kind of what I look at when I look at who could potentially be Rookie of the Year. I mean, obviously you have to look at quarterbacks because they're going to get a lot of just press and pub and everything like that, right? So
that's why I'm saying that Marvin's probably not going to get it unless Marvin gets like a 1,500-yard rookie season.
Well, I mean, you just saw Garrett Wilson get Rookie of the Year a couple years ago, and I mean, he had a great season. So I mean, it is possible.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
I think Caleb Williams's situation is poor, so I don't have a lot of confidence in him. I also don't have a lot of confidence in JJ McCarthy. I just don't think I don't have a lot of confidence in Drake May.
Xavier Worthy seems really, really high.
Yeah.
He's just a receiver that's fast. Like that's his main trait that I'm aware of is that.
But he did get drafted by the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He's in the Chiefs system and he's fast. And Andy Reid.
He'll be their number one by
of his wide receivers. He literally
he'll be number one by division
with James Thrash and Todd Pinkston.
With
like if you remember those names.
With Rice being out for probably half the season too, he may be default the number one wideout.
Rice is very fast too.
True.
Too soon?
That was good. It's not too. No one died, and that's not too soon. If someone died, yes.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just thinking. I guess we always talk about looking for value, right? Looking for value for your money. I guess if I'm looking for value for my money, I might look at Bo Nix just because he's landed in a situation where he's going to get a lot of playing time because the rest of the quarterbacks on that roster suck. Sean Payton has proven himself to be a good coach over a number of years. I guess the only thing that strikes me about that as bad is that I don't think the Broncos as a whole are going to be very good. I guess they kept Cortland Sutton. So, I mean, he'll have at least one person to throw to that's decent. So I don't know. That would be if I wasn't going to take Harrison Jr. with all my money, I would probably bet it on Nix.
See, I'm interested though in the Xavier Worthy pick because going to the Chiefs with Andy Reid and what he can do with speed,
Yeah.
That's really intriguing for me. Like, I'm definitely not betting on McCarthy. I would definitely bet on Marvin Harrison Jr., but if I'm looking at the top of the odds, I think Xavier Worthy at plus 1,600. I mean, Andy Reid and speed. You had Deshaun Jackson, Tyreek Hill, and look what he did with those guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
you could convince me of that pretty easily, especially because they're the same odds.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, Andy Reid knows how to make a guy come open. Like, he can scheme a guy open. The offense that he built for Deshaun Jackson on how to split the safeties straight off the line of scrimmage. If he has that in Xavier Worthy, if all Xavier has to worry about is catching the ball, like
Yeah.
that's all he has to worry about. He will be open. Andy Reid will have him open. It's just, can he catch the ball? And if he can, Xavier Worthy at plus 1,600 might be a good bet.
Yeah.
Very
I agree with you.
Very interesting to think that. If we have any thoughts too, just being conscious of our time, do any of us have a very strong, passionate take on these defensive rookie of the year prospects?
I'm betting on the Kool-Aid man.
I mean,
I'm
if
happy
we're
that
choosing rookie of the year off the best name, Kool-Aid wins. Yeah.
yeah.
I just
No, I'm
want him
happy
to intercept the
Latu is up
ball.
there,
I
but
just want him to intercept the ball and go up to the mic and go, "Oh yeah!"
Yeah.
second place.
if
Chop
he can
Robinson.
if he can intercept the ball and then like have all his other teammates like line up as a big wall and like run through them.
That'll be the end zone
yeah.
celebration.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll have to be the
Where
end
did-
zone celebration.
Yeah.
Where did Kool-Aid get taken?
I have no idea. I'm not a defensive guy, so I don't really pay attention to that stuff.
I wasn't sure where he was taken, but yeah.
I was
Well,
saying, I can
I'm
check
going
on
with Quinyon Mitchell, man. That's, got to go with my guy.
Hold on. Kinsey. I can't spell. He got taken by the Saints. There we go. Kool-Aid is in the Big Easy.
Well, I mean,
But,
the Saints traditionally do play good defense. So, I mean, while I was just being funny and picking him because of his name, he actually might do something.
Well, he is from Alabama.
Yeah. I think he was one of the best rated cornerbacks on the board, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He
Yeah.
was. A lot of people had him at the top of the board for defensive back. But interesting thing about Quinyon Mitchell was Quinyon Mitchell went to Toledo. He entered the portal just to see what offers he got. Nick Saban wanted Quinyon Mitchell at Alabama.
Oh.
And he turned it down because Toledo was the only school that gave him a chance, so he stayed loyal to Toledo.
All right.
So Quinyon Mitchell is top of the line too, and we just recently saw with Sauce Gardner that a cornerback can win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Didn't you get isn't Cooper DeJean yours also?
Yes, we got him with the number 40th pick. Traded with the not the Deadskins, the Commies. Traded with the Commies to get the 40th pick. Pick Cooper DeJean, and then the Packers, who were going to pick DeJean at 41, traded their pick and dropped down in the draft.
Nice.
That's awesome. I love that.
I love it when we do that. I love it when we hop in front of somebody and they go, "Oh crap, the Eagles got us." And
I do that in my fantasy drafts and getting great enjoyment out of it. I can't imagine how good it would feel to do that in the real NFL.
And do it on a consistent basis like Howie does.
Yeah.
This Packers video maker I watch, he talked about how the Lions do that to the Packers constantly, apparently. Like I never paid that close attention, but apparently the Packers get jumped by you and the Lions a lot.
Get a better front office then.
Yeah. I mean,
get a single owner, stop being a public trade. No, I'm just being honest. I'm looking at all this. Like, honestly, I don't know much about any of these guys except Latu got drafted by the Colts. So that makes me happy that he's up there at second, because Latu was the first defensive player drafted, wasn't he? Or was
No, it was Quinyon Mitchell.
Oh, okay, I couldn't remember if Quinyon was before him or not.
Wait, maybe it wasn't. Maybe somebody went. I know the Eagles picked the first cornerback, but I'm not sure who took the first defensive player.
Okay, the Colts were in the middle, so that's maybe
So
I
number
don't know.
15, because there were 14 offensive players. Who had pick number 15?
I think
Not
that
the
was the
Eagles.
Colts. I think that was the Colts. Give me a sec. I'm gonna.
I think it was the Colts too. I think you're right.
Latu. If I. Oh, that's not gonna say. Maybe. If it's gonna load on my phone, does it say his draft? Yep, pick 15 Colts.
There you go.
Okay, so he was the first defensive player picked off the board.
Yes. Sorry, listeners that were screaming at us for like it was 15. It was the Colts. That's funny. Well, I think with that, I'll go ahead and knock that down and say, gentlemen, this was a lot of fun getting betting back into the show. James, do you feel comfortable, or do you want me to ad lib the? Oh no, never mind. I always ad lib the first of our sponsors. Almost jumped the gun there. If it pops up, there we go. RoyalRetros.com, our sponsor, our longtime sponsor for the show. You can go there and get yourself an authentic throwback jersey. They don't just have football either. They have basketball, baseball, soccer, you name it, it's on there. Go check out their Candlestick collection, which is curated with the Bay Area in mind. There's baseball Giants stuff there as well as 49ers stuff. And when you find something nice that you like, go use the promo code Shady Sports and get 10% off of your entire order, not just one item. It's 10% off of your entire order when you use the promo code Shady Sports. It helps us out. It helps our parent Shady Sports Network out. Again, use the promo code Shady Sports for 10% off your order at royalretros.com. Go get yourself an authentic throwback jersey today. Now, James, I know you are actually scripted with that and don't ad lib like I do. Would you like me to talk about our charity?
Sure. Go ahead. Let's see how Dan does it.
Well, now I know you don't watch the episodes you're not on, so I see you're a fair weather.
What? Yeah, I
Guys.
do. I just turn it off at that point because I know everything. I turn it off at sponsors. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, YouTube, he didn't say that. Well, guys, as you no doubt know, we have been raising awareness about a very specific thing. It is the lack of ability when it comes to our owners. When players get in trouble, we find out about it before some of their family relatives do, it seems like. But with owners, they get away with things and we don't find out for months. Like our own actual acting CEO or acting owner now, not CEO, Judd York, he was involved with shady stuff. We talked about Dan Snyder at nauseum last year. David Tepper literally can't get out of the news. So we decided to start this hashtag owner standards over player standards, hashtag owner accountability. And as part of that too, we have decided to design some t-shirts to raise money for charity. And the charity, I had the name right here. It's Mountain. Oh my goodness, James, remind me. It is Mountain Comprehensive Care Center. I lost my notes. Sorry. Yeah, we're raising money for Mountain Comprehensive Care in Kentucky. And to do that, we are selling these shirts. This is our kind of standard shirt, no pun intended, owner standards over player standards, hashtag owner accountability. This has the most variety of colors, most variety of shirt designs, long sleeve, hoodies, sweatshirt, pricing starting at $22.99. And all the proceeds, again, will be going to Mountain Comprehensive Care. The next shirt is our logo. If you're listening to us on a podcast platform of your choice, that is just our cover art there. You can get it in any kind of design as well, just the gray color. Pricing, again, starting at $22.99. Our alternate logo here with the goalposts and the flying peanuts. These have a couple different colors. James has this shirt. I felt it. It's great. It is a very high quality shirt. Again, pricing starting at $22.99. You can do the hoodie, sweatshirt, long sleeve, short sleeve. And then our last shirt is our mascot of the 49er Peanut, or Niner Nuts Peanut, I should say, with his Niner hat on. Now patiently waiting for, I suppose it would be footage of training camp, if not the Hall of Fame game, eating a bowl of peanuts. And no, don't worry if that's cannibalism or not, because I've thought about that for you. So with that, this has been an awesome episode. I was busy at work. I literally and we're in such a dead zone of news. I don't have anything for a news blurb. So I guess I'll open. What'd you find?
Steelers declined the 5th-year option on Najee Harris and Justin Fields.
Oh, yeah, big surprise there. Oh, and I saw Trey Lance's actually got declined by Dallas too. Lots of 5th-year declines have been happening, which are not remotely surprising. So
yeah,
that doesn't mean you're not going to get money. Talking like an owner.
Hey, James, it looks like the fire's starting to burn a little bright for you there, my man. Looking good.
Well, it's actually a citronella candle.
Oh, okay.
Going on right now that you're seeing. It's I mean, I've been having a fire going, just like raging in the back, and just no. John and I are gonna get together and roast marshmallows and
make some s'mores.
There you go. No, that's awesome. I was thinking just for time itself, and now I just realized that we're losing your light too. So I think that's a good sign to wrap this up.
Anyway, everybody, come check us out all the time, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Outro music, River Road, Justin Muth.
We're off next week. We will be back on the 13th. There we go. Yeah. See you guys.
River Road, you got me running way back home. River Road, you got me running all night long. You got me singing some canal boat song. River Road, you got me running all night long. River Road, where have all the women gone? Have they kissed her hand and waved you bye-bye? Have they thought about crossing your double yellow lines? River Road, they love the way you winding.